Hi, I'm Andy Joles. Welcome to VideoCreditScore.com. Today we are going to talk about personal loans and credit scores. So what are personal loans and how do they impact your credit score? So the answer to this is a personal loan is a type of installment loans. Remember, what's in your credit file are installment loans and revolving accounts. And revolving accounts are credit cards. Installment accounts, the biggest examples we know of are auto loans and mortgages. But the other example is personal loans, and we'll talk a little bit about using personal loans as a strategy, but let's talk about how they're reported. Well, if you get a personal loan from a really large major financial institution, it's probably going to show up on your credit file at all three bureaus. Now let's contrast this. If you go with a mid-size or more regional bank, it may not get reported at all, or probably more likely it's going to get reported, but it may not show up on all three bureaus. So something to consider. Now, let's contrast this with a credit union. Well, a credit union, again, sort of has more of a regional flair to it. It might show up in one of your bureau reports, but it may not show up in all three. So it might hit a couple of them. It might hit all three, but it might just be on one report. So contrast that to the major banks. Now, what about if I get it from a friend? Well, obviously, I've just thrown this in here to just let you know, obviously, your friends don't report to the credit bureaus, so that's not going to do you any good from building any credit history. So what about peer-to-peer lenders? Well, the peer-to-peer lenders are the companies that they've set up on like an eBay-type marketplace, and they do actually report to the credit bureaus for the most part. So you want to check their fine print, but they're doing a good job of setting this up. So you should know that. What about payday loans? Well, generally I don't think payday loans are ever a good idea. So please try to avoid them if you can. And you should know that they may or may not report to the credit bureaus. So when is there sort of a good time to use a personal loan? And when I talk about a personal loan, an example of a personal loan is going to your bank and saying, hey, I need a $500 or $1,000 personal loan. It can be a really small amount. And this serves a useful purpose actually when you're doing a small loan like this to help rebuild your credit, or to build credit for the first time, or for somebody who's an expat who's trying to build credit in this country. These are all sort of great examples how personal loans can be used because you're building out that installment loan history on your file. But you know best whether or not a personal loan is a good idea for you, and you need to make sure that your reasons for getting a personal loan are going to be good financial reasons. So if you want to learn more about this topic and other topics when it comes to credit scoring, come to VideoCreditScore.com, friend me up on Facebook, or follow me on Twitter. See you soon. Remember, everyone's situation is different. Be sure to contact a financial advisor or a credit counseling professional before making important financial decisions. This video broadcast is for educational purposes and not a substitute for receiving personalized professional advice.